Drew Pritchard has been a dominant figure in the world of antiques for many years, known for his keen eye and ruthless business acumen. He has become the face of Salvage Hunters and a trusted expert in scrapyard finds. While his success in the antique trading industry is undeniable, it raises an important question. Should success be measured solely by financial wealth, or is there a personal standard that one must uphold? Drew may have accumulated significant wealth, but is his legacy defined by his financial achievements or by the hardships and personal losses he has faced along the way? Recently, exciting news emerged regarding his business. Drew has sold his yard. He received an offer he simply couldn't refuse, marking a significant change in operations. However, with over 90% of his business now conducted online, this transition is something he welcomes with enthusiasm. Born Andrew Thomas Pritchard in 1970 in Conwy, Wales, Drew's childhood was largely unremarkable, except for one defining characteristic: his unusual fascination with antiques. While his peers were engaged in typical childhood activities, Drew was drawn to scrapyards and second-hand finds. His passion was deeply influenced by his father, who collected antiques, musical instruments, and motorbikes. Instead of marveling at grand museum exhibits, young Drew found joy in scavenging beaches and scrapyards with his friends, selling salvaged items to buy sweets and magazines. From an early age, he displayed a sharp business sense and an entrepreneurial mindset. Determined to pursue his passion, Drew understood that becoming an antiques dealer first required learning restoration skills. Lacking academic qualifications, he enrolled in an apprenticeship with a glass restorer. His journey was far from easy. Operating initially from his father's garage, he specialized in stained glass restoration. It wasn't until the late 1980s, armed with just 200 pounds and a battered VW Beetle, that he officially launched his career as an antique dealer. The world of antiques was highly secretive when Drew entered the trade. Dealers guarded their knowledge closely, leaving him to learn through trial and error. In the beginning, he spent more than he earned, with even a simple newspaper ad costing £15 a month. However, his persistence paid off. Over time, he refined his business model, maximizing profits and establishing himself as an industry authority. His expertise culminated in the release of his book, How Not to Be an Antiques Dealer: Everything I've Learned That Nobody Told Me. Drew's breakthrough came in 2011 when he landed his own television show, Salvage Hunters. The show follows him as he uncovers hidden treasures, restores them, and sells them for substantial profits. Today, Salvage Hunters has flourished, spanning over 17 seasons and inspiring spin-offs such as Salvage Hunters Classic Cars and Salvage Hunters, The Restorers. His clientele has expanded impressively, with notable names like American fashion designer Ralph Lauren and esteemed chef Marco Pierre White seeking his expertise. Despite his financial and professional success, Drew's life has not been without controversy. In 2017, he found himself in the public eye for all the wrong reasons. Reports surfaced of an alleged affair with a businessman's wife, which resulted in a physical altercation at a pub. According to The Sun, businessman Janos Thomas confronted Drew at the Liverpool Arms pub in Conwy after discovering the affair. The situation escalated, drawing widespread media attention. This scandal cast a shadow over Drew's otherwise esteemed reputation, proving that even the most successful individuals are not immune to personal missteps and public scrutiny. While Drew Pritchard's story is one of remarkable perseverance and success, it also highlights the complexities of personal and professional life. His journey from a scrapyard enthusiast to a renowned antiques dealer demonstrates his unwavering dedication to his craft. However, beyond his wealth and accomplishments, his legacy will ultimately be shaped by both his triumphs and tribulations. Drew Pritchard's affair with Amanda was not an isolated incident. It was revealed that he had been unfaithful with multiple women. When these relationships ended, some of the women began sending threatening messages to Amanda, blaming her for the collapse of their affairs. Drew withdrew. The exposure of his infidelity set off a chain reaction that would impact both his personal and professional life. Drew married Rebecca in 1998, but their love story began long before that. The two met through the antique trade, bonding over their shared passion for history and restoration. Their partnership extended beyond marriage, as they worked together to build their careers. When Salvage Hunters premiered in 2011, Rebecca played a crucial role behind the scenes, helping shape the show into the massive success it became. To the public, they appeared as a united front, never showing any signs of discord until Drew's affair came to light. Once the news broke, the scandal began affecting every aspect of his life. The fallout was especially dramatic because Drew and Amanda's husband, Janice Thomas, had been friends before the affair. As rumors spread, Drew insisted that Amanda confess the truth to Janice before he found out from the media. In an unexpected twist, this confrontation ultimately led Amanda and Janice to work on repairing their marriage and prioritizing their children. However, the confrontation between Drew and Janice did not end there. According to reports, tensions between the former friends escalated in a public setting. The situation came to a head when Drew allegedly smirked at Janice in a pub, further provoking him. Janice later claimed that Drew had called him a coward for not physically confronting him after learning about the affair. This final act of condescension was too much. Janice retaliated by punching Drew outside the pub. The legal consequences of the altercation were relatively minor, but they did not work in Janice's favor. He and his wife were fined a total of £1,440 and ordered to pay additional compensation and court costs. Despite pleading guilty, the judge ruled that no restraining order was necessary against Drew. However, the social consequences for Drew were far more significant. His reputation took a major hit, and his long-standing success in the antique world did not protect him from public criticism. By 2018, Drew's misfortunes had only worsened. Reports surfaced that he had been banned from every pub in his North Wales hometown due to an alleged assault. He was placed on what locals called pub watch, meaning he was effectively prohibited from entering any bars in the area. While the exact details of the incident remain unclear, the confirmation of his name on the pub watch list was enough to tarnish his reputation further. Despite his undeniable talent in the antique trade, Drew Pritchard's personal controversies had begun to overshadow his professional achievements. The world is often unforgiving when a well-liked public figure falls from grace, and Drew found himself facing a harsh reckoning. The dominoes of his misfortune continued to fall, leaving both his career and personal life in jeopardy. Drew Pritchard's infidelity was not limited to just Amanda. Multiple women were involved, and when these affairs ended, some of them began sending threatening messages to Amanda. They blamed her for being the reason their relationships with Drew had come to an untimely end. This revelation sent shockwaves through Drew's personal and professional life, setting off a chain reaction that would lead to his eventual downfall. Drew married Rebecca in 1998, but their love story had started years before. The two met within the antique trade industry, and their mutual love for history and restoration brought them together. They became not only life partners, but also business partners, working in harmony to grow their careers. When Salvage Hunters launched in 2011, Rebecca played an instrumental role in making the show a success. To the outside world, their relationship appeared strong, with no visible signs of discord, until Drew's affair with Amanda became public knowledge. The scandal affected Drew in more ways than one. He and Amanda's husband, Janice Thomas, had been friends long before the affair. As rumors spread, Drew insisted that Amanda confess the truth to Janice before he found out through the media. Surprisingly, this decision worked out in Amanda's favor, as she and Janice chose to work through their issues and prioritize their children. However, the confrontation between Drew and Janice didn't end peacefully. According to reports, tensions between the two men escalated in public. Janice later claimed that Drew had called him a coward for not confronting him after learning about the affair. The final straw came when Drew allegedly smirked at Janice in a pub, an act that Janice saw as condescending and a twisted form of victory. Enraged, Janice punched Drew outside the pub, leading to a legal battle. Unfortunately for Janice and Amanda, the court ruling did not go in their favor. They were fined a total of £1,440 and ordered to pay additional compensation and legal fees. While Drew avoided any legal consequences, the damage to his reputation was undeniable. His long-standing success in the antique industry could not shield him from the public backlash. The controversy marked the beginning of a series of misfortunes for Drew, as the world does not take kindly to a celebrity betraying his equally well-liked wife. His troubles did not stop there. In 2018, Drew faced another blow when reports surfaced that he had been banned from every pub in his North Wales hometown due to an alleged assault. He was placed on pub watch, meaning he was prohibited from entering any bars in the town. While the exact details of the incident remain unclear, confirmation of his name on the pub watch list further tarnished his image. Beyond his personal scandals, Drew also developed a reputation for his abrasive attitude. Many in the antiques community criticized him for his elitist behavior, especially his tendency to dismiss anything that didn't hold significant monetary value. His sharp critiques of others' tastes and practices did not win him many fans, and his attitude only fueled the backlash against him after his affair was exposed. Given the scale of the scandal, it was inevitable that Rebecca and Drew's marriage would not survive. However, the separation was particularly complicated due to how intertwined their personal and professional lives had become. Despite being married for nearly 2 decades, Rebecca handled the situation with remarkable grace. She divorced Drew but continued to maintain a professional working relationship with him, allowing Salvage Hunters to continue for several more seasons. During their marriage, Drew and Rebecca lived in a former Methodist chapel in Egglesbach, a home Drew had personally restored. It was a perfect home for their family, and they created many memories there. However, after their divorce, Drew moved with his son to a smaller 1820s townhouse just outside the walls of Conwy. He also made the difficult decision to close his shop in Conwy, which was later transformed into a bakery and general store. The major changes in his life led to a period of deep reflection for Drew. In 2023, he announced that he had left his old life behind, as everything had become too overwhelming. He moved to the West Country, where he has been focused on restoring a historic 1790s property, transforming it from 5 flats back into a townhouse. This new passion for home restoration, while not entirely different from his previous work, has provided him with a fresh start. In recent years, Drew has opened up about his personal struggles, including his childhood and his decision to stop drinking in an effort to improve his quality of life. While it remains uncertain whether he can fully recover from the setbacks of the past decade, there is hope that he can rebuild his life for his sake and for the future of Salvage Hunters. We wish him the best.